Hello everyone. Today I'm going to start with very interesting topic about firewall. As name describes, the firewall is kind of a wall that burned with the fire. So, what is firewall? We start in these slides. We have uh, some topics. Introduction to firewall, that is what is firewall, network firewall, web application firewall, weakness in firewall or honeypots or security misconfiguration. So basically the word described is firewall. A networking device. Firewall is the first line of defense in our network security to protect our internal network from outside network. Firewall can be hardware or firewall can be a software. So let's start with it. As we can see in diagram, there is an attacker or there is a machine can be a network, that can be a server or other network resources. As we already know, the firewall is the first line of defense. If someone tried to access our network, like hacker or any web security threat, first of all, he has to access from his laptop or using the internet. Suppose if we want to access to our system, let's go through with the diagram. We can see clearly he tried to access our network. If he got the access without any firewall, he gained the access and he can do manipulate with our server or network. But if we install a firewall, what happens? After installing the firewall analyzes that request, analyzes that frame packet that coming from outside network to internal network. And based on the sets of rules and regulations, it will check it, and if it's not in our whitelist, it simply discard that packet and by saying access denied. And that goes reply to attackers that you don't have access or forbidden or access is denied. So what we learn here in our diagram and why we need a firewall. That we need a firewall, as we know the security is a major concern in all about. Security is the biggest threat in our information technology. If we have a firewall in our network, in our corporate network, we can protect our data or information from outside attackers. Next, we can see the simple scenario, the how firewall concepts. We can see in the practical scenario the security as compared with our firewall concept. Suppose if we are in home or in office or in any factory or in environment. If an intruder or someone attacker wants to enter in our home or house or wants to get into the access to our office factory, what he will do? Simply go and access that in office or in home. If you don't have a lock system, if you don't have a securities like security guards or any block like firewalls there, so he will access and he will go through with that in our home in office. If we have a security guard, if we have a lock that's our home or in office, so he won't be able to access or he has to go through with our security point or security checkpoint. As we can see in any live environment in any police stations like police people or CRPF persons, they are available in our airport, in our railway station or bus stations. So the intruder cannot be accessed that, and by saying the access denied, you don't have access to enter in this authority, and simply he go back and without having the access to our home. So this is the whole scenario about the firewall, how does it work as over the security concept. So next we have a firewall task. What firewall task that has to perform? With the software firewalls, they have a different task. Hardware firewalls have different tasks. So we have defend resources, validate access, manage and control network traffics, records, report or event. So we go through with step by step. Defend resources. It will block the unauthorized IP addresses which comes into our network. It only allows the whitelisted traffics which is accessible to our network from outside network. Validate access. That means block the IP list or the black list IP or the black IP list are not allowed in our network. It's simply traffic is blocked to validate that access. So it has to be validated access at this point. Third, we have a manage and control network traffic. Here we have it manages traffic and again we have a record and report events. So what's the difference between in 3 and 4? The manages and control means it manages the traffic in a smooth way to flow our packet in our network. In the records and reports, it simply generates the logs for further analysis and send it to our admin. Just need to check the valid IP address or whitelisted or blacklisted IP address. And next we can say we have a personal firewall. So we have a firewall category. It's important to understand the aspects of firewall, why we need it. As we have already gone through with the slides, we all have to block the unauthorized access in our network by using the firewall. The firewall can be from the range of from the static IP, it can be the high speed access, it's always connections online. In static IP, it makes an attacker to discover your computers because we have a static IP, we all connected with the internet all over the world, so it's easy to access. In high speed access, is work much faster than static IP or than other IP addresses. And always connected online. If you connected to computer or any devices online, so it's easy to access to attackers from the outside access. So we have another act as the fifth one is act as an intermediately act as a proxy mediator. That means this is a sit between the two lines or sit between the two proxies and work as a mediator. You can pass it or not pass it from using by this mediator. Next we have a network firewall. As we see, the security devices which are to mitigate the unauthorized access. The network firewalls plays a very important role in our network. In network firewall, there's a types we have. Can be a software, it can be a hardware. So we have also go through with the structure how the file performs by using its architecture. In network firewall architecture, we can say we have packet filtering, stateful infection, circuit level gateway, application level gateway, or next generation firewall. So what are these all? Let me brief you with one by one. In packet filtering, we simply go with the check the packets. This packet is valid or not. Next we have a stateful infection. On that, we simply the protection and the TCP handshake is checked. The packet is properly TCP handshake or it's not. If the connection is performed orientedly, then it will give access or otherwise it will block it. And second level gateway access, we have simply we can say it's denied the traffic. If the unauthorized IP is simply denied. In application level, it filters the incoming applications, so whether it's been blacklisted or it's whitelisted. And we have a next generation firewall, it will analyze very deeply each and every packets which can enter in our network. So this is all about the scenario about the network firewall. The next we have a web application firewall. The web application firewall is short we can also refer as a WAF. It's a web application firewall. We have different types of, it can be a network based, it can be a host based, or it can be a cloud hosted. So what's in our network based? It can be a hardware, it can be a software. It's only depend on their nature or depend on their feature and properties with their application firewalls. And simply we can say the network based, it is a hardware that's instant locally is near to any applications to know whether the packets are correctly coming from the outside network or not. Or host based, it's simply connected to nearby the host. It's referred as the WAF that can manage and you require the applications library check on that firmwares. And cloud based, it will go with the virtual machines. We check with the DNS proxy we have to configure with at the server level. So these are all about the applications with the web application firewall. Next we can say we have web as a secure application networking. So it's securing our application and the network using the web. Overall, the web services in any form, security against any attack. It ends with the web security that will help to protect against known threats and viruses and worms, Trojan, overall that's activating overall the world. But nowadays the SQL injection is the biggest threat to exploit our database or to access our system. So by using the secure application network using web, we can protect our network from any malicious program or software. And we have advantage and disadvantage of all this. We can say the firewall, we have a weaknesses in the firewall. It based on the predefined rules. Each and every time we have to rearrange, or each and every time we have to configure the rules when the new threat is come. The fourth security is allowed. We have to forcefully allow to firewall that it has to be blocked or not by using any update. Like in Windows, we're using the GP updates, and can be stopped only intrusion from the traffic passes through. So traffic has to pass through that firewall. If we access from some other network, so it's very easy to access from that. So there's the weaknesses in firewall, and we can say we have weaknesses in software as well as in hardware, because we know that both have different categories and both have different features. In software, we can say it's a costly, it's not capable to fast reactions. In hardware firewall, it's a complex or configure. It's totally hardware. We have to set up an environment to set up the hardwares, or all the office. It can be in size of small, it can be in the maximum size. So it's disadvantage of the hardware firewall. So this is the end of slides. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you like this video, and see you next time. Thank you and have a nice day.